If you had told me that the most humiliating day of my life would become the day I met the bravest girl I'd ever know, I would have laughed. But I wasn't laughing when she looked at me with quiet, steady eyes and signed, "Were you part of the joke?" That moment, it broke something inside me. And it changed everything. I didn't plan on going out that evening. I'd had a rough week, bad grades, worse moods, and friends who thought humiliation was a form of humor. So when they invited me to join them at a cafe, insisting they found the perfect girl for me, I should have known something was off. They were terrible matchmakers and even worse human beings when they were bored, but I went anyway, mostly to get out of my own head. When I walked into the cafe, she was already there, sitting by the window, sunlight outlining her hair like she was made of warm light. She looked calm, peaceful, focused on her notebook while tapping a rhythm with her fingers. Her beauty wasn't loud. It was quiet, the kind that whispered instead of screamed. I didn't even know her name. I walked toward her, unsure, confused, wondering if my friends really set me up or were pulling another stupid prank. She looked up the moment she sensed movement, her eyes sharp, curious, impossibly observant. I said, "Hi. I'm Amir." She didn't respond. She studied my lips instead, then she smiled gently and pointed to her ear, shaking her head slightly. Only then did I understand she was deaf. My stomach sank, not because she was deaf, never that, but because I realized exactly what my friends had done. They weren't setting me up, they were setting me up to laugh. Mock. Be part of something cruel. I felt sick. She signed something slowly, then typed on her phone and turned the screen toward me. "Were you part of the joke?" Those 5 words, they stabbed me deeper than any insult ever had. I shook my head so quickly I almost dropped my phone. No, I swear. I didn't know. I'm not like them. She watched me for a long moment, eyes scanning my face as if searching for cracks. Then she let out a breath, her shoulders dropping slightly. Her fingers moved again, signing with elegant precision before she typed another sentence. "Okay. Then sit. Talk with me." And for reasons I didn't yet understand. I did. Her name was Hannah. She communicated through signs, expressions, and sometimes her phone when I didn't understand. But somehow, conversations with her felt fuller than any words I'd ever spoken. She told me she lost her hearing at 9 after a severe fever. Life was never exactly kind to her after that, but she refused to stop living. She lip-read, she wrote poetry, she loved sunsets, and she could sense someone's mood faster than any hearing person could understand a sentence. But there was something else about her, something I didn't see until later. A pain, not physical, not obvious, but a shadow behind her smile. Like she'd learned to expect people to walk away the moment things got inconvenient. She asked me things no one had ever asked. "You look uncomfortable. Is it because of me? What do you hear when you're alone? Does silence ever scare you? Why are you here?" Really? The raw honesty of it was disarming. We spent nearly 2 hours together. I laughed at her dry humor. She smiled every time I exaggerated my lip movements, trying to help her read me better. I didn't notice how much time passed until she signed, "I had a good time. Thank you for treating me like me." It was only then I realized she had expected humiliation. Expected mockery. Expected someone to be cruel, and that shattered me in ways I wasn't ready to admit. I walked her outside to her rideshare. She signed something quickly before leaving. "If you weren't part of their joke, then don't disappear." The car door closed, her words echoed louder than any sound. I didn't disappear, but my friends did everything they could to push that option on me. The next day, they laughed like children who thought they were clever. "So how was your little sign language date? Did she bark or something? You looked like you were babysitting. You didn't seriously stay, right?" It was just a laugh. Something snapped inside me. I told them exactly who they were and who I refused to become. I walked away from them and didn't look back, but something inside me worried. What if Hannah thought I was part of it? What if she thought I disappeared because of shame? What if I already looked like every other person who left her? I didn't want to be another scar. I texted her, "Can I see you again?" The 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. "Finally, if you want." When we met again, she was different. Quieter. Eyes heavier. I knew something was wrong even before she typed to someone recorded us yesterday. "Your friends." My blood went cold. Did they post it? She nodded. My jaw clenched so tight it hurt. "I'm so sorry," I said. "I'll get it taken down." She shook her head, then she signed something slowly, painfully, looking at me like she was handing me the sharpest piece of her past. Are you embarrassed to be seen with me? I froze, she looked away, swallowing hard, then she typed, it's okay if you are. I stepped closer, gently touching her hand to get her attention. Her eyes lifted. I said each word slowly, clearly, knowing she would read my lips. I'm not embarrassed of you. I signed the little bit I had learned in one night, not embarrassed. Not ever. Her breath shook. You don't have to be a hero, she said, speaking softly, her voice practiced, not natural. People like me, we're used to being jokes. I shook my head fiercely. And not anymore. Not with me. Her eyes filled, not dramatically, not like in stories, just a quiet breaking she tried to hide by lowering her gaze. I continued, you asked me something yesterday, if I was part of the joke. And I wasn't. But today I'm asking you something. She looked up, can I stay? Not because I'm sorry. Not because I want to fix anything. But because you deserve someone who actually sees you. And I want to be that person, if you let me. She stared at me, a long, searching stare that felt like she was examining every corner of my soul. Then she signed slowly, her fingers trembling, stay, and I did, not out of guilt, not out of pity, but out of something real, something she taught me without ever hearing a single word. Silence is not empty, silence speaks, and sometimes, it speaks love louder than sound ever could.